So I wanted to share something with you. I get messages all the time. I get different messages. Some are good, some are bad. All right. Some are from like this guy. Let's check this out. All right. All right. Of course, I don't speak Spanish. As I tell him here, mi español es malo, meaning it's bad. I don't understand. He asks, do I speak English? I say yes. So he goes on to tell me my greetings. So many years of my life has passed that I've been looking for my perfect brothers who suits me. I followed you and saw you are in the circle of light. Okay, great compliment. I know you have replaced your desires and emotions with virtues. I'm trying. Thanks for being here. You are ideal. So I hit him up with my pre-recorded message of getting the soul trap, which is what I give to everybody. So I'm just going to go ahead and breeze through that part. He says, I only have one question. Please tell me, is killing oneself compatible on here? My response, if you kill yourself, you leave in a state of confusion and will easily be taken again for reincarnation. Tibetan monks go into a state of transcendence, which is a controlled state of dying. However, to achieve this, you must obtain knowledge first. Otherwise, many pitfalls awaits, like reincarnation or worse, being stuck here as a roaming ghost or spirit, then becoming a demon. He says, I want to show you something. Then he goes into this long message, a message from the allies of mankind. Like billions of others in this galaxy, we are sentient creatures like you. There is no fundamental difference between you and us, except for experiencing certain stages of development. As in any other organized structure, there is hierarchy of creation. Like most of you, we are searching for the supreme being. So we are not gods or less than gods, but we are in fact equal. Physically, we're somewhat different from you, but to most of us, we have a human form. Our existence is real, but the majority of you are not yet aware. We are not just notes, we are pronouns just like you. You fail to catch us because we remain invisible to your senses. These are invisible creatures, people. Each of you desires to exercise his or her free will and experience happiness, but your happiness and your free will depend on the knowledge you have of your power and on the love you give and receive. Like all conscious races, at this point in your progression, you may feel isolated on your planet. So we wish to fill this void at this moment in your history. Neither your scholars nor your religious representatives talk about the heavenly events that humanity witnessed thousands of years ago. To find out the truth, one must confront it and filter out old beliefs, however respectable they may be. Forget about the false prophets and the beliefs that were transmitted to you, which I totally agree. If you really want to stick to your beliefs, which we understand, say no. If you don't know what to choose, don't say yes just out of curiosity. This is real everyday life, and we are alive and we live. And know that rituals and our worship are useless. An increasing number of your anonymous researchers are exploring new paths of knowledge and getting closer to the truth. Today, your civilization lives in a sea of information of which only a tiny fraction, the least disturbing part, spreads. Know that the future will be more surprising and you will discover the worst and the best. At certain stages of development, the humanities discover new forms of science beyond the apparent control of matter. This is what your humanity has come to in a few laboratories in close cooperation with some of the races, the others, our enemies, at the expense of the dangerous compromises which remain intentionally hidden from you by some of your representatives. Regardless of the atmospheric or spatial objects or phenomena that your scientific community is familiar with, which you call unidentified flying objects, there are multi-dimensionally manufactured spaceships that use these capabilities. Many humans have been in visual, auditory, tactile, or psychological contact with such ships, and some are subject to mysterious forces that control you. The scarcity of your notes is due to the notable advantages offered by the immaterial condition of these vessels. By not watching it yourself, you can't believe in its existence. We totally understand this. For the multidimensional passive beings that play a role in exercising power under the human oligarchy, it is their will to keep their existence unknown. We can appear in broad daylight, and help you achieve this union. We haven't done it yet because very few of you, out of ignorance, indifference, or fear, would have wanted it. The entry of the human race into the family of galactic civilizations is highly anticipated. You are the offspring of many races that have been mutually enriched by the contributions of others. Your goal to unite and respect these roots to achieve a common project. We have come to the conclusion that freedom is built every day as the being becomes aware of itself and its environment, gradually getting rid of limitations and inertia. Your history has never ceased with confrontations between peoples who had to discover each other in often conflicting circumstances. Conquests always happen to the other detriment of others. Now the land has become a village where everyone knows everyone else, but still conflicts continue, and threats of all kinds are getting worse in terms of duration and intensity. This is the case for the vast majority of you, mainly for geopolitical reasons. There are several billion of you. However, the education of your children and your living conditions, as well as the conditions of many animals and much plant life, are under the supervision of a few of your political, financial, military, and religious representatives. The depletion of natural resources has been programmed while no long-term collective project has been launched. Your thoughts and beliefs are modeled on partisan interests to turn you into a slave, while at the same time giving you the feeling that you are in complete control of your destiny. The scarcity of resources and their unfair distribution will lead to large-scale fratricide battles, and an act of sabotage is carried out cleverly. Human behaviors have such inertia that this perspective leads you to a dead end. You entrust these problems to the representatives whose conscience fades before union interests. They always discuss the form but rarely the content. This is why your decisions today, more than at any other time in your history, will directly and dramatically affect your future survival. Tribes, populations, and nations have always confronted and interacted with one another in the face of threats to the human family. Now it's time for a bigger interaction, a wave, and an intellectual revolution about to unfold. We are a group of races allied to the human cause. We at our end accepted this honest cause and introduced ourselves a few years ago to the representatives of manpower who rejected our outstretched hands on the grounds of incompatibility of interest with their strategic vision. That is why individuals today make this choice themselves without the intervention of any representative. What we suggested in the past to those we thought could contribute to your happiness, we are now suggesting to you. Most of you ignored that non-human beings participated in the exercise of power without you even suspecting it, and because they are not accessible to your senses. This is so true that they almost subtly controlled it. However, know that a large number of your deputies are fighting this menace. Peace and reunification of your peoples will be a first step towards harmony with civilizations other than your own. This is exactly what those who manipulate you behind the scenes do not want and try to avoid at all costs, because by division they prevail. They also prevail over those who rule you. To defend yourselves against this faceless aggression, you need at least enough information that leads to a solution. We can offer you a more holistic view of the universe and life, constructive interactions, experience fair and fraternal relationships, liberate technical knowledge, eliminate suffering, gain access to new forms of energy, and finally, a better understanding of consciousness. Breathe and let all the power you have penetrate you. Be proud of who you are. Forget about the problems that may have weakened you. Forget about them for a few minutes to be yourselves. Feel the strength in you. You are in control of yourselves. It is recommended that you spread this message to those around you, whether or not they seem receptive to this new vision of the future. Do it in a humorous or joking tone. If it can help you, at least you will have exercised your free will, making the decision for yourself as an individual. This is your right as well as your responsibility. One of your thinkers once said, "Give me a fist and I will raise the ground." Posting this message will then be a fist to strengthen it. We will be the lever and you will be the craftsman. The direct result of a collective decision to show you will be the incarnation of many ships in your skies and on earth. For you, the immediate effect will be the abandonment of many false beliefs. Video calling will have huge repercussions on your future. Much knowledge will be modified forever because you will see for yourself that we live concretely, and you will change many of your values. This light can be your future, and your relationships can be progressive if your wish is to show us. Spread this message widely. This action will affect your future in a historical and irreversible way on a scale of thousands of years. Not informing others means risking an outcome that goes against one's expectations. To remain indifferent means to give up one's free will. This invitation may not receive unanimous approval and may be ignored. With that said, there is no singular desire that goes unheeded in the universe. Imagine our arrival tomorrow. Thousands of ships, a unique culture shock in human history today. You are still the architects of your destiny. Would you like us to appear? My response: I do not represent anyone but myself. Your appearance is not my choice, but yours. It will not be me that you will have to deal with, but the representatives you speak of. Human life is but fleeting, and reincarnating again I will not do, because I am now aware. Brother, we are all one on this earth. We are from the mighty Father Elohim, from the ancient giants. And my advice was get the soul trap and let me know if I'm telling people what is correct.